Greetings. I don't usually talk about this particular subject on this channel, but I've been known to touch upon it, and I'm touching upon it today, but I'm going to have kind of a different ending. Last week on LinkedIn, I had just signed on, and I saw where, for the first time in history, Miss America, Miss Universe, and Miss American Teen, or whatever that one is called, are all black. And I thought, wow, that's a big deal. And a lot of other people did. But there's always that one or two or three people who get on my nerves. And in this case, one guy said, well, the more we talk about things like this, the more that racism will last. This should just be seen as something that just happened and we move on from it. And someone agreed with him. And I went in there and I said, you have absolutely no clue what you're talking about. That's what privilege does to you. Now, in this time and age of, our society, calling someone privileged is a bad thing. Yet, that's the first thing I thought of at the time because I reacted more in anger than with real thought. But here's the reality. Nothing changes if you don't talk about it. You can't say, well, racism's going to go away if we just stop talking about it. It doesn't happen. Every single day, there's another news story where cops have bothered a minority or someone has called the cops on a minority for something that just absolutely stupid and means nothing. As a matter of fact, a lot of times they're wrong. A lot of people who have lost their jobs have been outed, all kind of things for their stupidity. Sometimes folks think that you can just ignore these people. You can't ignore these people. You have to say something. Hopefully you don't beat them down to the extent that they walk away saying, see, I knew that if I said anything, then they're all just going to treat me like that. I'm the victim, blah, blah, blah. No, you ain't the victim. You were stupid. Because it just doesn't work that way. You can't ignore things and hope that they'll go away. If you broke your arm, you can't ignore it and say, well, it'll go away. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. If your house falls down, say your roof collapses, you can't say, well, I'll ignore that because it's not going to fix itself. Things don't get fixed if you don't address it. Things like racism don't get fixed if we don't highlight certain things that you say, wow, it's 2019 and this is the first time this has happened. You know what? Last year in the WWE, I was amazed because I don't watch wrestling as much as I used to, but on this particular day I did. And they had one of those triple threat tag team things. So it's like 3 different teams are vying for a tag team championship. And for the first time ever, all 3 teams were black. That had never happened before. Most of the time, you don't even get a second team, and this was 3 teams. And I was stunned, and I was excited. And I said, wow, look how things have changed. Right now, the WWE has a black champion. It's the second ever black champion. Think about that. Professional wrestling's been around forever. You may decide it's fake or it's not real, but it is because they are athletes. They're doing things that most of us can't do. And it's significant. It's been on TV for a heck of a long time. And so having just your second champion after all this time, that's a big deal to a lot of black people. And the guy who won, a guy named Kofi Kingston, I guess his family is from Ghana, and he actually went to visit Ghana, and he found out he was a really big deal. Those people are ecstatic. They're proud. They didn't think that anything like that would happen from, for someone who was from Ghana. I hate to admit I don't know where Ghana is. I know it's in Africa, but I really don't know. I don't know. But I don't know where almost anything is if I haven't been there. So that's just me being a stupid American. But you can't ignore things. You have to talk about it to fix it. If anyone thinks racism is going to get fixed by not talking about it, you don't have a clue. If you think that business is going to get fixed without talking about it, you don't have a clue. If you think you can fix your relationship by being quiet and not talking about it, you don't have a clue. Now, you have to talk about it in the right way. And, you can't fix racism by saying, well, we'll just keep using the N-word over and over until it has no meaning. That ain't going to work all that well. And you can't fix your relationship by always blaming another person because that doesn't work very well. So you have to kind of watch out how you do it, but you have to talk about it. You cannot crawl under a rock. You can't put your head in a hole. You can't run away and act like, well, if we just don't address it, if it's not there, then it didn't happen. Trust me. I can tell you probably a bunch of times where I've walked into a room and people have acted like I'm not there. I may have shrunk an inch or so, but I was, over 6 foot tall. I'm a black man. I'm not small. You can't miss me. And yet people missed me. You know what? You can't fix anything until you're ready to talk about it. That's what I'm talking about today. Let me know your thoughts on this. My name is Mitch Mitchell. Click, like, subscribe, and click that bell so you get notifications because I put these out as often as I can. You take care.